Digital banking, what customers really want.
So we're going to be talking about digital banking, what customers really want. And by the way, if I end up looking at my phone, it's because I'm looking at the questions I'm going to ask them. I'm not looking at Instagram. So before we dive in, I always like to get a little bit of background about the panelists. So give us your name, give us your current company, but also give us a little bit of background of how you came into and got involved with crypto and blockchain. Okay. So I'll start with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Loukas Lagoudis. I used to be working in London for roughly 10 years in asset management and investment banking, but I fell in love with fintech, payment innovation, and I think there is no better place to be that we are in blockchain and crypto today. So in the last few years, I'm working on the payment institution to offering OTC trades for crypto on and off ramp solutions. We have payment institution from the UK, we have crypto exchange from North America and European Union. So we facilitate high-risk merchants.
Just hold it like this.
Yeah. And we facilitate high-risk merchants in this industry. I think that's enough.
Say one more. I honestly didn't hear you. One more time. What do you do? What does your company do?
We offer payment solutions for high-risk merchants. We authorize by FCA. We have UK crypto exchange. We have Canadian crypto exchange. And we offer dedicated bank accounts for high-risk merchants.
Interesting. Okay, so you're licensed and interesting. We're going to have to talk about that challenge. That's a fascinating topic. Please.
My name is Greg. I am a computer scientist by my first education, but I spent 15 years working in a hedge fund, doing global macro asset allocation, some derivatives trading, and I became obsessed with the global financial system, the way it works, in 2008 when the global financial crisis hit. So I thought there should be a better way. There should be a way to deal with finances more transparently, more fair for all the consumers around the world. And that planted a seed in my brain. So when the Bitcoin came along in 2013, it naturally caught my eye that this asset class was inevitably to be institutionalized, and the consumers, the customers deserve what's now called narrow banking. It's a solution which has very limited counterparty risk and at the same time lives in the both worlds, in the Web 2 world, say traditional banking system, and the Web 3 world across different blockchains.
Sorry, did you call it narrow banking?
Narrow banking, yeah, which is now, you can call a stable coin that access to central bank accounts, a narrow banking product that has the best of both worlds. So it lives on chain, on any blockchain of choice, and it has the ability to issue IBANs, provide payment services to customers. So I run the biggest non-dollar stablecoin. It's called EUROS, and it's operated out of Malta. So MFSA provided us with a license under the VFA Act, and I could say we are the only legal stablecoin in Europe because the regulator did a third-party audit, technical audit of how we do things. We were never hacked. We processed more than 1 billion of volume, euro, back and forth. We support all other currencies, not dollar, but other non-euro currencies. And we have on-chain liquidity. We can generate you an IBAN that has a direct central bank exposure, very limited risk. And I'm quite excited for the upcoming regulation of this marketplace.
You are excited. That's an interesting topic. And maybe, I don't know if you both said it, how did you get into the industry?
I was working also for hedge fund in London. We are doing systematic trading, but I have to make a presentation. What is this upcoming technology? And is where I get introduction into blockchain and crypto. And then I went to do an executive education from Oxford University, and then slowly joining different hedge fund focusing on that specific asset class, trying to develop different startups in the payment rails, involving stable coins or off-ramp solutions, until we end up with authorized payment institution to offer this service for high-risk merchants.
And what year was your presentation?
What
year was that first presentation that changed your life?
2017. 2017, and then we saw them bull run twice, so we're looking forward for the third one.
Greg.
Well, EUROS was issued in 2018, and Malta Prime Minister, President visited our launch event. But the roots of that product date back to 2013, where my partner launched the world's first Bitcoin hedge fund. So it was the first time in the world before Pantera Capital, before Galaxy Digital, all those guys, we securitized Bitcoin in a hedge fund form. It was trading at $30 back then, that's 30, and we thought, and it went from like 7 to 30, and the guys thought like, what we are doing, it's already up. You know, now it's 37,000, and that fund still exists, and I'm building this narrow banking solution with a stable coin on top of it.
Fantastic. Now, obviously the topic is what do customers want, but Greg, you mentioned you are running into new regulation, MiCA, and you are currently regulated under Maltese law. What is that transition going to look like for you?
The transition will be massive, because we'll be able to passport this thing. Right now, we cannot advertise ourselves. We cannot put a word in Google or Facebook or LinkedIn, Twitter, nowhere, because we're just licensed under Maltese law. So if customer comes to us and trades with us, we can serve him. We support 175 jurisdictions globally. We support SEPA, SWIFT, cards, acquiring securities, any possible method of transferring capital, but we cannot advertise ourselves. So the biggest change for us will be, first of all, passportability. We'll be able to advertise across Europe as nation as a whole, and second, it will apply capital requirements. So currently we hold everything in cash, but the regulator does not require us to hold, say, 1% of capital segregated to support this. It's 1-to-1, it's 100% back, but we are not required to put in capital. So what MiCA does, and I'm not saying it's the best regulation out there, but it certainly provides some clarity and certainty going forward, and it will require us to put 2% of our capital aside to support the emission of a stablecoin. And if we are classified as systematically important one, and chances are we will be classified because we are the biggest one, then it will be 3%. So 3% of our capital will be set aside to safeguard the assets which are 1-to-1 euro to US.
Interesting. And then do you have to do anything like reapply, or are you grandfathered in?
Well, as we heard from MFSA last panel, which I was quite excited about, that there will be some transitioning period, transitioning mechanism for existing VFI license. So in a sense, it's a piggyback. It's a backdoor into MiCA for European companies who had this status. I hope he was saying the truth, because initially we applied for the full-scale MiCA license, and we thought we'll be in all the line of the other applicants, but if there is a streamlined process, that is even better for us. We probably will be the first in the world to get it.
Congratulations. You want to comment?
I fully agree with Gregory, but also with MiCA, it's going to enhance trust and transparency, since it's not going to be a rush regulation in order to destroy the innovation. It's going to be hand on hand with the technology in order to improve the transparency. People, the same thing that they feel with traditional markets. They have the transparency, they know the AML, the KYC requirements. So all of this is going to be enhancement for the adoption of crypto moving forward. And we already can see some initiative from Web 2 companies that are moving into Web 3. And all of this, by the end of 2024, MiCA is going to be full in place. And more companies that will come into the ecosystem, since they're going to feel more transparency in the rules and regulations around MiCA. But on the other side, that we can see there are different regulators, they are approaching different approach. In the same week, PayPal achieved authorization by FCA, but in the same week, SEC issued them a peanut. So there are different companies that may will try to explore regulatory arbitrage. They will see different frameworks, but I think MiCA is going to be the guidance for other regulation that they want to implement on their law, some functionality of crypto payments and digital.
Interesting. All right, so digital banking, what actually do customers want?
And look, can see that everyone here can agree that after COVID and the pandemic and COVID-19, then digital industry and digital banking saw a tremendous acceleration and tremendous irreversible trends. And with acceleration on digital banking, they changes the customer satisfactions and customer loyalty. We saw that now everyone needs this mobile banking. Everyone wants to see their banking, their funds on their mobile, since there are a lot of unbanked population that you can reach them through banking solution on your mobile. They can execute payments, they can see their balance, they can see request a payment through QR code. So people, they are moving away from traditional banking interface. They are moving more into digital banking. And in addition, we saw all these traditional banks and fintech companies, they are sitting on a massive customer behavior data. And by integrating with new trends on big data analytics, AI, they can enhance the user experience, they can customize offers, they can customize promotions and different payment solutions. And also, the other pillar that we can see the last few years is blockchain. Blockchain, not crypto, but blockchain. Blockchain transactions, verifications, they can enhance transparency, they can enhance trust. And all those pillars, along with the mobile banking, we can improve financial services and can improve financial literature to all our bank population. And I think this is moving forward. Digitalization of banking infrastructure through mobile applications, enhance deep analytics through AI and big data analytics, along with blockchain. I think this is where the direction is moving and what customers really want. Because at the end of the day, who is using banking? Is the same person that is using Instagram, they are using Facebook. So they want to see this easy interface. They want to compare the onboarding, the user interface that they use for other digital life. So I want to send payments the same way I'm sending picture to my friend. So all these mobile applications, they are moving into this direction because they compare your mobile application, the onboarding process with other social media platforms. So I think this is what really customers need.
That's a good comment. They want their digital banking to be like, I don't know if anyone uses Facebook anymore, but they want it to be like Facebook.
It's seamless as Facebook, not hassle where these funds are coming from, not hassle how can I make an execution. I have this guy mobile number, I have this guy email address. Why should I not be able to send him funds seamless?
I mean, PayPal, basically.
Yeah, like let's look at a very simple example everybody understands, payroll, right? So customers want to receive anything that is receivable, any currency, digital or not, and send everything that's possible, any currency, digital or not, right? So just to pay payroll for remote teams in different jurisdictions or in traditional currencies, right? Or in digital currencies. And at the same time, they want it secure. They want to make sure that tomorrow something happens with the institution, they get 100% of their money back. Now we are in an era of falling fixed income securities prices, right? We are in an era where all big banks are underwater. If they mark their positions to market, they'll all are undercapitalized. This happened in the US with Silicon Valley Bank. If you think it's not happening in Europe, you're delusional. Most of the banks are underwater if they're allowed or forced to mark their books. So small, medium businesses just want to make it payroll, right? They want to make sure that the money they raised from their investors are there tomorrow, and they can afford to pay it to their suppliers, to employers, and in every possible digital or traditional form. So this is what comes on board. Method agnostic, currency agnostic, blockchain agnostic, way to receive and send payments with a secure treasury, secure custody. So this is what where we'll be able to merge these two markets, Web 2 and Web 3, through the crypto-friendly, narrow, neo-banking IBAN.
Is there any difference between, you kind of led into it, is there any difference between digital bank, neobank, or an iBank, or is it just the trendy term of the moment?
Well, again, bank is the institution that makes loans. And making loans is a specific business. In the current environment, it may lose liquidity, the bank. It may not have enough cash if there is a run on a bank to withdraw to everyone who is willing to withdraw. And then you're back to the too big to fail problem, right? Which happened all over.
I'm sorry. Is that a bank, or is a bank something that takes customer deposits?
Exactly. So this is
I think the deposits is the key of the definition.
So look, under MiCA, we are not allowed to mention the name bank. We are not allowed to mention deposits because we are not deposit-taking institution. But we can do payments. We can do cryptocurrency transactions. We can do conversions. We can do custody. But we cannot do deposits. We cannot pay any interest. This is how the commercial bank deposit market is safe and it is guarded. It's protected. But if you want all the innovation you can get in payments. If you want to be currency or blockchain agnostic, you go into this narrow neo-banking. I mean, there's no proper word for it yet. There'll be some word similar to stablecoins. I mean, stablecoin is not a legal term. There's no law that says stablecoin is XYZ. But we understand that the narrow neo-bank is something that has no duration risk, has no loans on its books, and at the same time is connected across all different transactional interfaces, APIs, blockchains to facilitate any possible incoming or outgoing transaction.
Interesting. Now, I think there's also a subcontext here that when we're talking about these institutions, and I think when you're talking about them, I'm hearing retail customers, retail banks. You know, when you talk about something being as useful as social media, that's an individual concern, not necessarily a company concern. So is that correct? Is digital banks primarily focused on that market?
Not to be honest, is focusing only on the retail, but also institutional clients. Let's say you are a casino operator, you're collecting payments in South African rand. In order to have to pay your service provider, the service here in the UK or in Poland, in order to send the funds directly from the source from your clients, you're gonna need probably 2-3 banking institutions, 2-3 currency conversions, and then a few days in order to land in the UK to pay your service provider. Where with this new technology and blockchain especially, you can have real-time settlements. You can convert the local currency into euros, for example. You can send the funds into European Union and make at the same time payments to your service provider and with a minimal cost. This convenience is adopted into this high-risk industry. So it's not only on the retail market. Also, a casino operator wants to onboard and make payment fast. If you go through the traditional banking, they will never gonna be able to onboard. But through this high-risk focus in the payments institution, this is their expertise. They know what to see. If they're gonna tell me, okay, I'm expecting payments in crypto or accepting payments from licensed institution from Curaçao, from digital banking, this is not a problem. But for traditional banks, it's a red flag. And also the people, they are familiar with these terms and the conditions. Where on the other side, traditional banks, they are not that familiar with the high-risk spectrum. So this is the direction. We have a dedicated industry that is focusing on the high-risk industry.
Got it. Greg, do you want to comment about the retail-commercial distinction?
I could argue that blockchain transactions are less risky because you can monitor them, and now there are surveillance systems that coming along, and you can plug it in and monitor everything that's happening there. In a sense, it's cheaper and easier to do the AML, and there should be considered less risky. But yeah, the point is spot on. Again, the customer wants to send everything possible and receive everything possible in a convenient interface that is pluggable into their CRM or their backend or whatever way, through APIs or any channel, right? Channel agnostic, currency agnostic, blockchain agnostic. This is what customer really wants in this sense. And it's not really about banking, it's about payments, because the banking will be more and more associated with loans. So when you want to go get a mortgage, you'll go to your traditional old school bank, get a mortgage. But if you want to do high-tech, sophisticated, modern payment infrastructure, you go to these MiCA licensed entities, which will be enabled across the spectrum for multi-currencies across the world to transact. And by the way, Europe has a much first mover advantage here, because you cannot do narrow banking in US. If you get the banking license in the US and start collecting deposits without making loans, you'll be shut down after first 100 million, because Federal Reserve wants you to lend to create dollars. And every other regulator, UK or Australia, will do the same. In Europe, there is this push of a MiCA license, central bank account, just for payments. And it's very innovative and very unique. And this market will grow multiple times from here.
Do you think that, I don't know if it affects you, but are you seeing any movement in the United States to catch up, or are we just gone?
Not yet. I hope after leadership change in a form of new president or maybe new SAC chair, there'll be some positive movements, but so far, no. I mean, the Fed wire is there, so they have this faster payment technology, but the narrow banking license is not there at all. By the way, UK just announced they have a stablecoin sandbox exactly with the same setup. It's for GBP stablecoin. So even UK is coming along, but US so far behind.
That's actually, I mean, in a couple seconds we have left. That's an interesting question because post-Brexit, how closely aligned is the UK regulatory structure with MiCA?
Totally misaligned. It's a separate animal, separate jurisdiction. But I mean, it's one of the G4 countries, right, that is coming along in the same...
For now.
Yes. But look, it's quite forward-thinking initiative, which is very powerful. Narrow banking, if you Google it, there were multiple PhD papers written on it. But nowhere in the world it has been implemented yet. But now is the time, very, very proper timing, and finally, like, politicians together with lawmakers came along and created this whole thing. It's now a reality. So we'll see how far it goes, but my bet is very far.
I think a lot of regulations are expecting to see how MiCA is going to implement in order to adopt some rules on their local legislation. And also we saw a lot of demand now with the spot ETF. If finally got approval from SEC, this is going to be a big catalyst, not only for blockchain, but also for digital banking in order to streamline the operation, leverage on the new technology.
Fair enough. We're right at the end. 10 seconds, last word.
What digital banking? Digital banking is streaming the operations through end-to-end solution for clients to receive funds and send funds. This is where the direction is moving.
Last word, 10 seconds.
Go try, if you want to try some crypto very safe, go buy some euro stable coins and try for yourself how convenient it is, cheap, efficient, and maybe you'll implement it in your business going forward as one of the methods to either accept revenue or pay out to suppliers or employees.
Last word, buy some Bitcoin. Thank you.